It's a story we've all heard in some form. The call is coming from inside the house. But what if it's not a call? What if it's a push notification? And what if the house is your own mind? Let's talk about an app that only worked when no one else was around. The notification never appeared during the day. It never popped up when friends were over. It only showed up late at night when the apartment was completely silent. This is the story of a man who found an app that knew him a little too well. Most smartphone apps rely on data. Your location, your motion sensors, your usage patterns. This isn't some hidden conspiracy, it's right there in the terms of service. Phones collect this information constantly. Developers use it to personalize your experience, to optimize performance, and to predict your behavior. This reality is important because it makes this story feel uncomfortably plausible. The man in this account discovered the app by accident. He was scrolling aimlessly through the App Store late one night, a familiar state for many of us. It appeared in a list of suggested downloads. The app's name was generic, almost forgettable. There was no flashy branding, no long, detailed description, just a single line promising personalized insights. He downloaded it without giving it much thought. It was just another app. When he installed it, the app requested minimal permissions. It didn't ask for access to his contacts. No microphone, no camera, just location and notifications. On its own, that wasn't suspicious. Plenty of weather and navigation apps ask for the same things. He opened it, and the screen remained blank. No loading icon, no error message, just a void of black. He shrugged, closed it, and forgot about it. The next evening, he was sitting alone in his quiet apartment. His phone vibrated on the table beside him. A notification lit up the screen. New insight available. The notification didn't list the app's name, which was a little strange. He tapped it. The app opened instantly. A single sentence appeared in clean white text against the black background. "You're alone right now." He frowned. The statement was accurate, yes, but it was also vague enough to feel harmless. He assumed it was a coincidence, maybe something tied to his location data or the fact his phone was only connected to his home Wi-Fi. It was a clever gimmick, nothing more. He closed the app and didn't think about it again. The next day came and went. Nothing happened. No notifications, no strange behavior from his phone. But that night, as silence fell over his apartment once more, the notification returned. "You don't need to check the hallway." This time, a prickle of unease started to grow. He hadn't been thinking about the hallway, but now he was. He got up, looked through the peephole. Nothing, just an empty, dimly lit corridor. He checked the app's permissions again. Still nothing unusual. No access to motion sensors or other hardware that could confirm his presence beyond standard phone data. This was getting weird. He deleted the app. Problem solved. Or so he thought. The following evening, the notification appeared anyway. The same vibration, the same anonymous alert. Installation restored. He unlocked his phone and there it was. The generic, forgettable app icon was back on his home screen. Now, he was genuinely creeped out. He went online searching for the app's name. He tried different variations, different keywords. Nothing came up. No reviews, no developer page, no forum posts complaining about it. It was like it didn't exist anywhere but on his phone. Over the next several nights, the pattern became undeniable. The app never sent a notification when other people were present. Not when he was on a phone call. Not when he had guests over for dinner. Not even when the background noise of the city outside was loud enough to fill the apartment. Only when he was completely, utterly alone. The messages were never threatening. They were never dramatic. They were just observational. "You locked the door already. There's no one behind you. You usually sit there at this hour." Each message referenced something mundane, a routine action, a harmless thought, but always accurate. And that's what was so terrifying. The accuracy. He decided to test it. One night, he left the television on, filling the room with the noise of a late-night talk show, and stepped into his bedroom. He waited, nothing. The notification didn't arrive. He walked back into the living room, turned the TV off, and sat down in the resulting silence. Within seconds, his phone buzzed. The app was watching, and it was waiting for the silence. But that night, he started sleeping with music playing softly from a speaker. Now, there are logical explanations for this. Psychologists can explain how our brains work. We are wired for pattern recognition. Humans are exceptionally sensitive to relevance. When a piece of information aligns perfectly with our internal state, it feels intentional even when it isn't. It's confirmation bias, a perfectly valid explanation. Technology experts can also chime in. They'll note that our phones can infer our presence and state. Indirectly, they can see what Wi-Fi networks we're connected to, what Bluetooth devices are nearby, and even analyze ambient device activity from our smart speakers or TVs. This is also a valid explanation, but neither of those rational explanations accounted for what happened next. One night, the notification arrived earlier than usual. You should leave the lights on tonight. He ignored it. It was just an app. A few minutes later, another message appeared. That wasn't a suggestion. A cold chill moved through him. It wasn't fear, not exactly. It was the deeply unsettling feeling of being corrected by an invisible observer. He'd had enough. He uninstalled the app again, but this time he went further. He powered the phone off completely. The screen went dark. He set it down, feeling a wave of relief. The phone vibrated in his hand. The screen lit up on its own, displaying a single line of text against the boot screen. APP active in background. That message wasn't in the phone's standard font. It didn't match the operating system's language or design. It was something else. The next morning, the app was gone. The icon had vanished from his home screen. No notifications appeared that night or the next. Relief washed over him. Maybe it was a bug, a strange, elaborate glitch that had finally resolved itself. Days passed and the incident started to feel like a strange dream. Then, late one night, while sitting quietly in his living room, his phone buzzed once more. He froze. But this time, the message came from a different app, a mainstream social media app he used every single day. The notification preview was short, but the words were chillingly familiar. You're alone now. He never received another message after that. The silence returned, but it was different now. He says that sometimes when the apartment gets too quiet, he finds himself instinctively reaching for his phone, expecting it to light up. Not because he's afraid, but because the silence no longer feels empty. It feels noticed. Apps exist to observe our behavior. That's their function. But this story lingers because it suggests something smaller, quieter, and far more unsettling. It suggests that observation doesn't always require access, and awareness doesn't always announce itself with a banner or a pop-up. Sometimes it just waits patiently. It waits until there's no one else around. It waits for the silence. Thanks for watching. If you have any stories about technology feeling a little too aware, share them in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more strange stories from the digital world. Stay safe out there.